The unthinkable has happened just when things were looking up and the year of 2020 was starting to look hopeful again. The entire year has been awful and so bad to a point where our expectations for 2021 were extremely low, but then the year started redeeming itself up until a couple of days ago when the official YouTube announced something on Twitter and sent pretty much the entire world into a nightmarish frenzy. So thank you ever so much for that, YouTube. First, you go down for hours on end and ruin a lot of videos of YouTubers and also the viewing experience for the audience. And then you drop this massive bombshell on us about Rewind this year. That really is their only caption. They gave us just 4 words before jumping right into the actual announcement. What kind of a warning is that supposed to be? It's also kinda ominous and terrifying just from the lack of initial information alone, but nothing could have ever prepared us for the words they were about to slap us right across the face with. Since 2010, we have ended the year with Rewind, a look back at the year's most impactful creators, videos and trends. Yeah, that's kind of the most upsetting part about this entire thing. The YouTube Rewind of 2020 was supposed to be the 10th anniversary of doing YouTube Rewind. Although if we are going to exclude the 2019 Rewind and just completely pretend that that didn't happen, then I suppose we can class next year as the 10th anniversary instead. That sounds like a much better idea to me. Whether you love it or only remember 2018, Rewind was always meant to be a celebration of you. I genuinely can't tell if they mentioned how people only remembered 2018 because it became the most disliked video on all of YouTube, or if they're just saying that as a general example, but either way, that's not the case for me, because I think when I think of YouTube Rewind, for some reason the most memorable ones for me are 2013 and 2014, so I guess we could say that those are my favourite ones and I didn't even realise it. But 2020 has been different and it doesn't feel right to carry on as if it weren't, so we are taking a break from Rewind this year. Oh, there it is. How upsetting to hear that sentence actually come out of someone's mouth in real life, let alone my own mouth. They've done Rewind every year since 2010, and even if everyone absolutely despised the previous two, it's still gonna feel extremely weird for it to just not happen this year. Like, it's not even gonna feel like the year is ending anymore purely because we don't have a YouTube Rewind to finish off with. Hello there, please make sure to leave a like on this video and you'll become my favourite person in the whole entire world. That is how it works. And of course, please make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already, because every day we move closer to our current goal of 300,000 subscribers. But I will admit that I completely understand where they are coming from. This year was dreadful and no word in the dictionary could even come close to accurately describing how bad it was, and if they think it would feel wrong to just go through with creating a big happy rewind of the year, portraying it as some perfect fun time like nothing bad even happened, then I'm gonna go ahead and trust them on this one. Although I do think that by going through with creating one and showing all the good that did actually happen this year, things that we maybe wouldn't have even looked at or acknowledged because the bad often outweighs and overtakes the good, it probably would have been nice to see them lift the spirits in such a way and to end off the year on a good note. I realise it would be incredibly difficult to carry on making a rewind in the fashion that YouTube Rewinds are typically in, what with masks and social distancing sadly but also hopefully becoming the new normal, but I honestly think this would have been an incredible opportunity to get creative with that. Whether it would have been like some kind of Zoom call between creators or having them record something at home and turn all of this into a rewind, or maybe even have them all get together in person, you know, safely of course, somehow implement the masks and social distancing into the rewind itself. Like, it's not like masks and distancing are the bad things, those truly are becoming the new normal and the whole world's situation is the biggest thing that has happened this year, so to actually include that into a rewind in a creative way would have been a pretty great idea. We know that so much of the good that did happen in 2020 was created by all of you. You have found ways to lift people up, help them cope, make them laugh. You made a hard year genuinely better. Thank you for making a difference. Barely even halfway through this video and I'm about to sit here and start sobbing my eyes this out. I now don't even think it matters whether they cancelled the whole rewind or not. That final statement was such a nice thing to say, and it couldn't be more truthful if they really tried their best. But here's the thing, if they are really standing there acknowledging how all the YouTubers and the content they provided this year is what helped millions and millions of people cope and actually drag themselves through the year, then I'm struggling to understand why they would think a rewind wouldn't do the same thing. And ultimately it's their choice, and no one making a video talking about it is gonna change that. But I just think it's nice to give your own thoughts on something, especially when it's this big. I think it also hit a little bit harder because they just dropped it on us out of nowhere, and also the fact that they didn't even give us a reason, unless you're counting the fact that they called 2020 a bad year. But I really don't think that that classifies as a reason, whether they intended it to be one or not. I saw people saying that YouTube got bullied so much for the 2018 and 2019 rewinds that they are just not going to try anymore. They're just going to stop giving everyone the chance to even say anything negative. But I also don't think that that's the case. I guess in a way it makes sense that it did get cancelled, but overall that's just because I'm assuming the reason is that it's kind of difficult to have everyone help create a whole rewind during the current state that the world is in. But it also kind of hurts because far too many incredible things have happened on this platform this year to just not get recognized. But also perhaps if they started creating a rewind right now, then it would be super rushed, and that's not what we want. I'm just kind of upset that all the beyond incredible things that came from YouTube this year won't directly get noticed and shared with everyone. However, with all of the talk of YouTube Rewind being cancelled comes the news of Roblox Rewind 2020 will continue, and honestly I think that's all we are going to need to survive the winter. This announcement has been the saving grace that we needed all along. A pack of smarties has been creating Roblox Rewinds ever since 2016. Like, he literally created 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, and now he's about to add to the collection and give us Roblox Rewind 2020, despite the real YouTube Rewind having a big fat zero chance of ever happening. I'm pretty sure he even included me in the 2018 and 2019 rewinds, which wasn't something that I ever expected to see, but I'm also absolutely not opposed to the idea. But there is two things I want to say about Roblox Rewind 2020. Number one being that with the YouTube Rewind being cancelled this year, that would very likely mean everyone is going to be extra excited for the Roblox Rewind, and that's going to build up the hype around that even more than it already did previously. And the second thing is also about the Rewind being cancelled, because basically a pack of smarties has always tried so hard to recreate the real Rewinds, but in Roblox and with Roblox YouTubers and developers. So with the Rewind no longer happening this year, I would imagine he's going to have to work extra hard to come up with and produce something completely original and from scratch. But no matter what he gives us, I'm almost certain that it's going to be insanely amazing. No pressure, but I genuinely cannot wait. And I suppose that does take away from the upsetting feeling that we all got from the YouTube announcement. But anyway, guys, think of YouTube Rewind 2020 getting cancelled, but then Roblox Rewind swooping in to save the day. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.